What's up, everyone? I hope you had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Mine was amazing. I'm sure yours was too. Today we're going to be talking about street photography and just what's happening in my life. So on December 6th, I actually have a movie shoot that's coming up and I am super excited. Unfortunately, I cannot tell you guys what the movie is, but I am extremely excited. That is why I haven't been posting as frequently as I should have, is because I have been working towards this movie that we're going to be filming, and I've been working with a ton of different people, models, and just trying to improve my photography game and really improve my B-roll sequences and just, this craft as a whole. Second thing I want to talk about is how you can improve your street photography. The way that I have been doing it is you need to get over the fear of pointing the camera at someone and really get close to your subject. And this is very true in street photography. I highly recommend putting your camera on a AI servo mode, which is a continuous focusing mode, so that when you track your subject, whether that be a car or a person walking through the street, they will stay in focus. You need to put your camera in a high shooting mode, so that might be like 10 photos every second. That way you can, you're tracking that subject and you're firing off a bunch of shots, and that way you have more images to choose from when you go back to edit. The third thing I want to tell you guys is you need to be looking for things to frame your subjects or to shoot through. I will put an example here. Alright, so in this shot, I was running towards this biker, just like hauling, and I saw the opportunity right as he was getting onto his bike, and I could use these bushes to frame my shot. So you need to be looking for, objects like this to frame your shots in street photography. That'll really help you improve your photos. I'm not sure what tip number we're on. I'm just talking to you guys. But the next thing that will really help you improve your street photography is to stop taking, I don't want to say stop taking photos, but switch up your photos from shooting on the ground and try and find a parking garage or somewhere like a rooftop that you can get up to and try and shoot subjects on the ground. And try and find good lighting too. So maybe there's a parking garage that you can, get up on top of, and then you have like a businessman walking down on the sidewalk. But then you also have a building that's blocking some light, and just like a sliver of the light is pouring through, so that you can get that nice black and white transition with the shadow on the backdrop and your subject walking through, the light. That has really helped me improve my photography, is always chasing the light and try and figure out where that creative light comes from, whether that is, you can use the sun, you can even use street lights, but I don't recommend street lights because they are very harsh and they are not going to make your subject look good. The next tip I have for you guys is to wake up really early or even shoot later in the evening. This is during golden hour, and if you don't know what golden hour is, it's basically during sunrise or sunset. And this is when you have the most flattering light for your subjects to shoot. This will put a nice golden orange glow around your subject. But the reason why I love golden hour for street photography is you can get incredible silhouette shots. And here's another example of a silhouette shot that I took yesterday with my friend Nick. He was a great model for this photo shoot, but I just saw the opportunity. I was like, hey Nick, go jaywalk across the street. And he was like, okay. And I ran out into the middle of the road. There were no cars in sight, and the sun was, directly in front of us. And so I made sure to compensate for the exposure. I made sure my aperture was on like f10 or f8, something like that. And I put on the high continuous shooting mode so that I would have a lot of photos to choose from when I went back to post-processing, and I made sure that my shutter speed was around 1/125th of a second. That way I could freeze the motion of him walking. But this is a really good technique. Sorry, really cold, running nose, gross. But this is a really good technique if you are struggling with some ideas to shoot. Silhouettes are great. They are one of my favorite things to shoot in street photography. The next thing you need to be looking out for is reflections. Reflection shots are beautiful. If you can find a nice clean glass, I recommend shooting through that glass and getting a reflection of you and the subject through the glass. Or maybe where you shoot off of the glass and you get a reflection of the building or someone walking behind you in the street. But my favorite way to shoot reflections is to find puddles. If it's been raining or there are any puddles around in your city, get a subject to stand right next to the puddle, and that way you could take a reflection shot of their shoes. This is a really nice, I don't know if you want to call it street or product photography, but I really love this style, and a good example of this is from Peter McKinnon's video, Street Photography. So the final tip that I have for you guys is you need to be patient in street photography. There are a lot of times that I could have gotten a banger shot if I just waited, a few more minutes for that subject to pass through my frame, but instead I decided to pack up and leave. This is why I recommend you staying in a location. If you find a really interesting composition that you enjoy that just speaks to you, you need to stay in that location for 10, even 30 minutes sometimes to wait for that interesting subject to pass through your frame. That is all the advice I have for you today. If I come up with any other tips or ideas that I have forgotten about, I will let you guys know. I hope everyone is having a good weekend, weekday, whenever I decide to post this. I don't know. But I will see you guys in the next video. Peace. Have a good one.